Hi, today we're going to be going over some tips on how to prepare for a job fair, whether it's in person or virtually. In many ways, preparing for a job fair is just like preparing for an interview, and if you follow these tips, it's going to help you make a positive first impression. My first tip is to plan accordingly. If your job fair is in person, make sure you know which employers are going to be there, and make sure to prioritize which ones you talk to. This way, if you run out of time, you can ensure that you talk to all of your top choices first. If your job fair is virtual, make sure that your technology is working well in advance. This means making sure that you will have a strong internet connection on the day of, and that your camera and microphone will be working properly. Also, if your job fair is virtual, make sure that you have a nice, quiet, and tidy space. This means picking a space with optimal lighting and a neat background, ideally a blank wall. Remember, if your background is messy, it will be hard to convince employers that you are detail-oriented and organized. My second tip is to refresh your resume before the job fair. This means cutting your resume down to only your most relevant experience, highlighting key skills, and making your resume into a nice simple layout by using headings, white space, and bullet points. If your job fair is in person, make sure to have many printed copies of your resume and maybe business cards to pass out to recruiters. My third tip is to do your research beforehand, as this will allow you to ask more thoughtful questions, and it will also show that you're prepared and interested. If your job fair is virtual, don't trick yourself into thinking that you can do research on the spot. You should also prepare beforehand and keep jot notes if necessary so that you feel more calm and prepared. Also be sure to review your resume before the job fair so your key achievements are fresh in your mind. If your job fair is virtual, you can certainly keep a copy of your resume nearby during the job fair. Also keep in mind what skills that you have might be most relevant to the employers that you are talking to. My fourth tip is to dress for success. Dress as you would if you were going to an interview. Remember, this might be the first impression that some employers have of you, so you want to make a good one by looking the part. My fifth and final tip is to send a thank you note within 24 hours of the job fair to anyone that you had the opportunity to speak with. Even if you are not interested in pursuing employment with a particular employer that you met at the job fair, it's still good practice to send them a thank you note, as you never know when that contact might come in use. If you are interested in one or more of the positions that you learned about at the job fair, be sure to follow the recruiter's instructions for applying and submit your application promptly after the job fair. If you need help with any area of your job search, feel free to give us a call at 613-546-5559 and book an appointment today.